He has largely been the assuring and eloquent face of Kenya's battle against the COVID-19 pandemic. But in a week that saw the world finally make a vaccine breakthrough, Health CS Mutahi Kagwe took a surprising stance, pouring cold water on the vaccine triumph by global pharmaceutical giant Pfizer.
Pfizer say there's a vaccine, but I really personally, to tell you the truth, I've got my many doubts about it because we're talking about a disease that stops people from getting the virus.
Kagwe dug in rapidly, questioning the broader science of vaccines.
I would like to know how they knew in the first place that I was going to get the virus so that the vaccine, you're talking about a treatment. When I have a virus and it goes down, I can understand the measure. But when you tell me that I stopped you from getting the virus, how do you know I was going to get the virus in the first place?
A vaccine described by the American Center for Disease Control as a biological preparation that helps the body develop immunity against an infection by imitating the targeted infection. Through the imitation, the body develops disease-fighting antibodies such that should one be exposed to the real disease-causing germs, the body has ready immunity. Pharmaceutical giant Pfizer, in conjunction with the biotechnology company BioNTech SE, on Monday announced that the COVID-19 vaccine had proven to be effective in preventing 90% of people in early trials from getting the virus. The two firms now waiting on safety data before approval for mass production and use. Immediately, word went out on Kagwe's doubts. A barrage of criticism against the CS poured out, many castigating his lack of understanding on the science of vaccines. Some revisiting his clarion call to the nation a few short months ago.
If anybody can get it, you can get it, I can get it. Being appointed a Cabinet Secretary.
CS Kagwe came into the limelight on appointment to the Health Office, a Cabinet Secretary whose first assignment on the 20th of February 2020 was to review the COVID-19 preparedness and response strategy. In 2 weeks' time, the first COVID-19 case was reported in the country. His was a meticulous job, by which time an isolation and treatment facility had been put up in a record 7 days. He convinced the nation through what appeared an effective communication strategy, and it worked, albeit for some time.
How do you know I was going to get the virus in the first place? So for me, I have reservations.
His assertions on the COVID-19 vaccine is likely to earn Kagwe a prominent place in the crowded space of science versus politics gaffes. In April this year, U.S. outgoing President Donald Trump suggested treatment of COVID-19 by using disinfectants.
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
Kagwe now in the company of former South African President Jacob Zuma, who suggested it was possible to ward off HIV infection if one took a cold shower after exposure. His predecessor, Thabo Mbeki, had doubted that HIV was the exclusive cause of AIDS. It took him 2 years to drop the stance. And South Africa has had a fair share of science naysayers. Former Health Minister, the late Tshabalala Msimang, advocated for consumption of beetroot and other foods instead of antiretroviral medicine against the AIDS epidemic. She served under President Mbeki. If his claims are proven wrong, Mutahi Kagwe may well scale the ranks of like-minded political deniers of the ways of science. Sam Kitoko, Citizen TV.
Work to be done to the standard